1, 2, 3, action.
Boom.
We're in. We're live.
We are
This
live.
is a full circle moment for me, Mr. Maher.
It is.
You were the first man to ever grace the James Hinton show.
Was it the first ever one?
Back in the shed, bro.
Jesus.
Back in the shed. The title of that podcast was The Transformation of Ian Maher.
Well, look at me now.
Look at you now, bro. Fully fledged runner.
Yep.
Fully fledged runner.
That's me.
For anyone that's wondering, I'm joined by a good friend of mine today to discuss a great book, bro.
Yeah, great book.
Had you heard of this book? Oh, we might as well tell. Let's tell people what it is, bro. You want to call it out there? Who it's by?
Mr. Christopher McDougall.
Show the camera, bro. Show the camera.
Little Born to Run action.
Little Born to Run action. Little foot in the front.
Yeah, so it
Big
started out.
big man for feet, isn't he?
Absolutely.
He's a big man
Yeah,
for feet.
big man for feet. You can tell that by the cover. But this started out as a little audiobook.
Yeah.
We were listening to it on Spotify.
Yeah,
And,
we were. It's progressed to a little kind of recap now of.
Yeah.
But like, to be fair, I've been doing a lot of running. You've been big into running for the last while anyway.
Yeah, the last few years now I've kind of been picking up a bit. I'm
Yeah.
an aspiring runner, I would call myself these days. So
And how did you grace the pavements, bro?
grace the pavements. Well, you see,
A lot of gracefulness going on here.
Jamesy, as you know well, I gave up team sports at 16 and I never
Yeah.
went back to it. So it was gym and very little cardio since then.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the last few years I just kind of got into running.
And was there a certain thing that kind of just got you into running? Like, was it all of a sudden, or was it someone you're watching, or how did it come about?
Yeah, I've kind of always been interested in it. Anytime it come up, like marathon runners, kind of, the Nike whole thing around like marathon runners and shoes and
Yeah.
athletes and stuff like that. So yeah, anytime that's kind of come up, I've always been interested in it. But I was never really out there running, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, the last few years now it's picked up a bit. So
Do you feel like you were born to run?
my book coming out next year, Ian Maher Born to Run.
Born to run too. So it's kind of just for you anyway. It was a gradual process.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's cool, man. It's cool.
Jamesy, if I can make a statement,
Tell me, bro.
aren't we all born to run?
We are, bro. And I suppose that's the whole concept in this book is, it's who we are, bro.
Yeah,
Running is part of our birthright. It's what we're here to do,
absolutely.
as well as abundance and many other things in life. But running in particular is something that is built into our DNA, bro.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it goes into great depths in this book about kind of our survival instinct, should I say, and the great Tarahumara, the people that live in the Copper Canyons
Yes, sir.
in Mexico.
Very interesting.
Very interesting, bro. And we'll break into it bit by bit. Just on the topic though of running. So for you anyway, it was just kind of seeing marathon runners, and then you've done a marathon already, haven't you?
I've ran the distance, so I
yeah.
haven't ran a race yet. We've done a few races,
Yeah.
a few half marathons and 5 milers, things like that. But
You've done a Clontarf.
Yep.
When was that? Back in June,
that
July?
was July, I believe. Yeah. So that went well.
What was your time there?
1:36 and change.
Bet me by 2 minutes. He did. Bet
Well,
me by 2 minutes.
Listen, I put in a lot of work and I didn't. I think it was maybe a 20-second PB.
Yeah. That's
So
good.
it could have been better now. But
Mm.
yeah, living in Spain the last few years, it was nice running in the sun. So
Yeah.
coming back to the Clontarf seafront was a
You're
challenge, but
climatising. And how did you actually find that half marathon yourself?
It was nice. There was loads of things wrong with fueling and sleep, everything like that. But no, it went well. Like I enjoyed it, had fun. That's the main thing. So yeah.
And you are doing the Dublin full marathon, or Dublin marathon, should I
Is it?
say,
Yep.
in October, the end of the month.
Yep, end of the month.
How are you feeling about that?
Feeling good.
Yeah.
At this stage, I'm kind of pretty much like I'm doing a kind of a 20-week program at the moment.
Yeah.
So we're coming to the end of that, and it's kind of just ready to do it now. Ready
Yeah.
to get going and just enjoy it. So.
Have you felt the motivation in regards to trains gone up and down for you?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a
Any particular
roller coaster.
Any particular reason?
I think 20 weeks is a
lot.
long time for anything, I suppose.
Yeah.
Any kind of camp
Preparation,
or
man,
preparation.
yeah.
So, but
1/3 of the year.
this is it.
Yeah.
And like it was probably needed. And I appreciate now that putting all that work in has got me now to where I'm comfortable in the marathon. If I had to go out tomorrow, I
Yeah.
could and I would. But yeah, these last few weeks is kind of just honing in and locking in, baby.
Locking in, bro.
Yeah.
And any particular time you're going for?
I kind of had very ambitious goals
Yeah.
around like 3:30. But
Which is fast, isn't it? What's
That
that
is
per kilometre?
I believe that is just below 5 minutes a kilometre. So
That's doable, I feel.
definitely doable.
Yeah.
To get
It's a
under
push,
that
though,
would
like
be a
that.
push.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially for 42. Like the half marathon, I think my running coach, Brian Swaby, shout out Brian. I'll be giving plenty of shout outs in this podcast, but I believe he said it was kind of take your half marathon pace, take your half marathon PB, and maybe add 15 minutes.
Okay.
Especially when it's your first marathon. So 3:45, I'd be very happy with. But to be honest, I've kind of, like I said, it was a roller coaster with training, so it's kind of been up and down. And no, I'd be happy with anything under 4. I think so.
It's a unique thing running because it's just like it's you v you. Like you're not really competing against anyone else.
That's what I love about it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's although it's a race, it's just like you're just racing against yourself. Which is fascinating, man. I running. For me, it's just only been a recent thing I've kind of got into it.
Yeah.
I just feel in the last, I'd say year, bro, within the last year, I've noticed a huge uptake just from, my own feed showing me what I want to see, of course, but like a lot of running content.
Oh, absolutely.
And I feel like, there's so many running clubs popping off, people are doing marathons. I think it's
definitely got a new wave. Like
it's a new wave, of course. Like I said before, born to run. That's you're going to hear that many times over the next hour, but it's great to see, bro. And like, you're just getting healthier by doing it as well.
This is it. Yeah. And great cardio, great for your health.
Great cardio. Yeah. And along with that as well, bro, is the rush of endorphins that you get.
Absolutely.
And
it's amazing.
Man, there were so many interesting parts to this book. Like one thing that really kind of stood out to me as well. Unlike other sports, running is that sport where the older you get, the better you can become.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is fascinating. So you've got runners into their 60s, 65, 70s that are still going strong. Amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen that thing before, bro. Johnny's man that smoked and ran and completed a whole marathon. You ever see that?
Oh, I've seen him. Yeah.
But like, he's in the 70s, bro. And it's just wild.
It's just conditioning, yeah.
You have to keep going, though. I think this is a great idea to start young as well.
Absolutely.
And running is fascinating. Like, it's an endurance sport. And the great thing about it as well, bro, humans are the best runners on the planet.
Yep.
No one's going to beat us at running.
We are the apex runners.
We are the apex runners, bro.
Yep.
Like, fair enough, if you got sprinters, cheetahs, take that trophy home. But you're not taking the endurance trophy off.
Yeah, we may not have speed, but we absolutely have endurance.
And how it correlated and how it kind of expressed in the book, there was a hypothesis. There was a hypothesis in hypothesis. There was a hypothesis that talked about how we hunted down prey and we basically would outrun them.
Yeah,
like
run them to death, basically.
Run them to death.
To put it bluntly.
And that's the fascinating thing. Like we're built to run, and this obviously it expressed this in the book. We're bipedal.
Yep.
And we stand on our 2 feet.
Absolutely.
But the way we breathe as well, we're kind of like we've got good posture for it. We can breathe quite well. But interestingly, and I never even conceptualized this before. But our sweat glands are so important for keeping us cool.
Yeah.
Dogs don't have that.
No.
They always pant, but they've only like tiny little sweat glands in their paws. Pigs don't sweat at all.
No.
Rabbits don't sweat.
No.
Humans
do sweat.
We keep on sweating.
We be sweating.
And that's why we can run for so long, is because we can cool down our body.
Heat adaptation, yeah.
But also an interesting point was the Achilles tendon, giving us that kind of springiness, that bounciness to keep on going. And I was thinking as well, man, I haven't skipped in ages. I love skipping. I used to do a lot of skipping. I think skipping could be really good for every single runner and help prevent injuries as well.
Yeah.
Which is another insight. What was the last one, bro? It was sweat glands. We had the Achilles tendon.
I believe there is something in the back of your neck. There's a muscle or a tendon in the back of your neck.
Good man, I forgot that, bro.
Yeah, for holding the head up.
This is why I brought you on, man. This
is why I'm here. Yeah.
All these little quirky facts, yeah. So the muscle in it, yeah, that's true.
So when we went bipedal, I believe, one of the things that evolved to make us run better was the stabilization of our necks and being able to hold our head up. And of course, we have the eyes that stay straight ahead, so that helps. You know what I mean?
Big fat ass brain of yours bobbling around in there. You need a strong neck, or you need, because man, it's fascinating. We're just like, we're so equipped for one sport, which is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and when you kind of go back in history, then you look at how far we've come and how much we're sitting and we're stationary and we're not running. We should be.
And
we're
another point
that
big old Christopher McDougall, he's a big guy.
He is.
He's a fucking big guy. He's tall.
Well over 6 foot, I believe. Yeah.
He touches on, he goes hard in this book, bro. I think that another main concept of this book is how we should be running barefoot.
Yeah.
And the connection that we should have to the ground. And I love that point. Like, I'd be a grounder. You a grounder, bro?
I'd be a grounder.
Would you be a grounder?
I'd be a grounder.
Barefoot on the ground. I love, bro, the sensation. Oh my God. Like, the grass is like the carpet of the earth. And when you have your feet there, besides obviously all the benefits it does in regards to the electrons going into your body, which reduces inflammation, that's all great. And it is great because it keeps you healthy. But the actual sensation of it, like your feet have the same number of sensory cells as your genitalia.
Amazing, isn't it?
That's wild, bro.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Little foot rub.
Man, I remember reading before, like, tortures they used to have was in the Roman days.
This
Is where
tickle
they-
your feet.
Yeah, no. Well, not
Oh,
tickle your
sorry,
feet.
sorry.
What they done was, this is horrible, bro. Right? They would tie your. I think was it the Romans? I think it was the Romans. They tie your feet down. They'd bring in a goat, and the goat would lick the sole of your foot, but it'd rip your skin away because the goat's tongue is really kind of it's
Coarse,
like
yeah.
coarse. It's like sandpaper. But anyway, go back to talking about feet. He talks about how we should be barefoot because we've got all these sensory cells in our feet, and what cushion shoes are doing to our feet is it's cutting off that sensory feedback.
Yeah.
So it's giving us this artificial feedback, which has caused a number of injuries. And actually, the first few chapters of this book, how Christopher McDougall, he's definitely Irish, how he went down this route is that he was having knee pain, he was having hip pain, and he went to 2 or 3 doctors in the States and couldn't find any. They basically told him to give up running.
He was told that he was not built for running.
He wasn't. Yeah, which is crazy.
Which he knew was wrong.
Yeah, at the end of the book, he goes on to run a 50-mile race.
This is
50
it.
miles, bro.
Mad.
How many kilometers is that?
50 miles would be, I believe, around 30 to 40 miles, maybe. That's a rough estimate. It's 1.6, I think.
So
1.6
50 miles would be. Would it not be like 70 something? It'd be more kilometers.
Sorry, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Not less. I was thinking more. Yeah.
Quick
So,
maths.
I think it's around the 70 mark, so 70 kilometers, which is fucking, bro. It's one hell of a run. Yeah, fascinating. Anyway, go back to the point. We should be barefoot. And barefoot runners, or barefoot running, should I say, causes less injuries.
Yeah.
The only issue, though, when I think of that point is like, but we've got like tarmac nowadays.
This is it, yeah.
So, is there a shoe out there? Like, I didn't do any crazy research into this now, but is there a shoe out there that could optimize that, like, acts as a barefoot shoe and then protects your foot at the same time? I know there's the Vivos.
Yeah, Vivos.
ever ran
like
Vivos?
that. No,
No.
never. There's 5 fingers or something like that. They're
Oh,
called.
I've seen them. Yeah.
And they
Because
kinda just
your
have
toes should have dexterity, the same way your fingers do.
Yeah.
And the issue nowadays, we're wearing foot prisons. Like, shoes are foot prisons.
Yeah.
And all your feet are always clumped together. Like, it's not how it's not, man.
No.
Not how it's meant to be. And
It
that
should be spread wide.
spread
nice,
wide.
good, stable base.
And but that'll give you, better support for your ankles, for your knees, for your
Yeah.
hips. How many issues do people have with
It's
their knees, bro?
the cushioning in running shoes that's
It's a real issue.
ruining.
And it
ruining
talks
lives.
about how clever Nike were with their marketing.
Yeah.
Man, it's all about making money. Running shoes is all about making money.
This is it. It's a business, yeah.
It's a business, bro. And it's a business built off getting people injured.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's
and
great.
it's a fine line between how can you improve performance versus how much should you improve the shoes. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Sometimes less is more.
This
And
is
in,
it.
in this situation, like, you're overcomplicating what the human anatomy can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The foot is built to, pick up on the sense. I just think it's causing probably more harm than good. But I also think as well there should probably be a solution in regards to, like, I feel like you can't just run barefoot
It's tough.
because we're not exposing our feet enough.
Yeah.
Just yet. Maybe it's just more exposure to it would help.
And if your feet are out in nature, they're going to toughen up, like.
Yeah,
But
that's so true. Yeah, another thing I love to do, bro, luckily enough I live close to the beach, is like you go down to the beach, you go barefoot, and like you're stepping on the stones and stuff, and it can be painful, don't get me wrong, but you're kind of just breaking up all the tissue in your feet, and it feels good afterwards.
that's it. That's one of the
Yeah.
best recoveries is rolling out your feet and getting a ball under your feet
Oh, I
and
love
rolling
it.
it
Yeah,
out.
that's
and-
another point.
Mm.
Get a hockey ball.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Feels
Get a
great.
hockey ball and just roll the sole of your foot over
Yeah.
it. Oh my God. It is painful though.
Sometimes. If you
Kinda like-
get,
we
it
kinda like-
depends what kind of ball you're using. And
Yeah. You like a bit of pain?
I've got a nice cork ball at home. It's nice and easy on the
Cork
foot,
ball? What's
yeah.
that?
It's just literally like a hockey ball, but it's just made of cork for rolling out the feet. And
Deadly.
yeah, it's nice.
That's cool.
Mm.
Interesting.
Fun fact.
Little fun fact.
Full of those.
Talking more about running, bro.
Yeah.
For you, is it a love-hate relationship, or how do you feel about it?
Absolutely a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
I
And why is that?
love
What you
I
love?
love when running
Actually,
goes
start
good.
what you don't like about it.
What I don't like about running is I can't really say it like that.
Yeah, actually,
But-
yeah.
I often get sick of running.
Okay.
And it's probably just because, like a lot of people, you just don't want to do the hard work sometimes.
Don't wanna do the hard
work needs
yards.
to be done. You don't want to do the hard yards.
Yeah. Why is
And
that?
it is effort to get up and go out and go for a run.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where now I'm not gonna shit on football here, but
Yeah.
any field sports where you kind of, it's really fast paced. You know, you get a burst of energy, you go out, get the ball, score a goal, whatever. Then you're done. Catch your breath, recovery.
engaging.
Yeah, you can recover, and then you get your breath back, and then you go again 5
Yeah.
minutes later. Whereas running is, you're out there with your mind, with your heartbeat, with your breath, and you just have to keep going.
Yeah.
Because if you stop, you're not running.
And for you, so getting yourself to run is the hardest part for you.
Yeah,
And then the actual experience of running itself, do you find that monotonous, or how do you?
it can be.
Because you'd be a guy that's training at the moment for the marathon. So
Yeah.
you're doing different types of runs.
This is it. Yeah, so
Is
you
there-
do like speed work, but then you do long runs as well. So you could be out there for 3 hours.
Actually, could you explain? Because I don't know them off the top of my head. The
Mm.
types of runs.
There's loads of types. There's interval running, there's tempo running, there's like long runs, recovery runs,
Okay.
easy runs, there's fartlek, there's loads of stuff.
Jesus, loads, isn't it?
Yeah, so it all depends what you're looking to do.
Mm.
Like, it's good to kind of build your aerobic base and your anaerobic base.
Yeah.
So anaerobic, I believe, I hope I get this right,
Is
Sean.
Anaerobics without.
Without air, yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're exerting a lot of energy,
So your heart rate be very high.
yeah, you
Yeah.
go from using air as a fuel to using glycogen as fuel.
Okay, interesting.
So
And then
long runs, easy runs, stuff like that, recovery runs will all be aerobic, and then anything above your threshold will be anaerobic. Or
Okay.
it'll kind of go into that. So
And with anaerobic, you're obviously not using oxygen.
you switch to using glycogen. So that's when you start to burn up your energy stores in your muscles and stuff like that. And
Okay.
that's when you burn out. So
So that's the whole reason for having all these kind of carb gels and stuff.
this is it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you need them.
How effective do you think they are?
They're very effective. Yeah,
Well, the Tarahumara didn't think that.
they didn't, but they take simple carbs.
They
Like,
did. They
What's
take
it? The
Pinole.
pinole.
Yeah, they had their own beer.
Corn mix or
Corn beer. Yeah. We're going off here.
We
now
are
as well.
going off, yeah.
Actually, I think we should let people know the main tribe of this book,
Yeah,
because
Tarahumara.
that's the Tarahumara.
Mm.
And obviously Christopher McDougall ends up, living with them for a period of time and running with them.
Yeah.
In the race towards the end of the book. But
You had the fact that they were pushed into the hills.
oh, they were, bro. Yeah. So the conquistadores
Mm.
came along, and the Tarahumara like, we are out of here. And actually, the Tarahumara, it translates as the people that run.
Mm.
People that run fast, I think. They also called their term for is the Rory men.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Yeah, but they flee basically when the conquistadores, when they come along, they run to the Copper Canyons to hide away from them, and you're not finding anyone out in the Copper Canyons.
This is it.
And from there, they just built up, the lifestyle of living very minimalistic, and they ran and they ran and they ran, bro. And it says in the book that they, on occasion, or quite often, should I say, run up to 200 miles.
It's amazing.
Bro, 200
Incredible.
miles.
Yeah.
Man, you're running nearly 7 days.
Yeah, and it's not out of hardship or necessity.
It's just a culture.
Yeah.
It's their identity. It's
Yeah.
what they do. It's fascinating, man. It's fascinating. And obviously in the book, Christopher McDougall, I think he's in Mexico for a particular reason. He's covering a different story.
Yeah, I think originally, because there's another character that we will get onto.
Yeah,
but,
you mentioned
the reason
yeah.
that he was there to find. He was covering some like singer that had some mad cult or something like that.
That's right.
And he found, or he just came across a runner's magazine or
An
something.
article,
An
yeah.
article that mentioned El Caballo Blanco.
El Caballo Blanco.
Or maybe it was it Tarahumara first, and then they put him onto
Caballo
El
Blanco.
Caballo?
Yeah, because I think it was. So it would mention about the Tarahumara.
Yeah.
This kind of like
this group of
people, people are just living in the wilderness
Mm.
on their own. Their little tribe. They're doing what they do. But they've got this mystical guy that's with them.
Yeah.
That's outside of the Tarahumara.
The ghost.
The ghost.
Mm.
The ghost. Yeah, he's man. At the beginning of the book, I was really confused. I was like, "Who is this fella? Is this like a?" Because they talk about witches in it and all, so they're obviously into their mysticism. But Caballo Blanco ends up being a character in the book, and he is real. American guy from California, former boxer as well.
Yeah.
And towards the end, it's fascinating of the book. But he's the guy that helps them organize the race with Christopher McDougall, the Tarahumara, and then great runners outside of obviously the Tarahumara people, the great runners from I think it was America.
Yeah, America kind of.
Yeah, so ultra runners. Do you remember any of their names? There was a guy called Barefoot Ted.
Barefoot Ted.
Got Barefoot Ted.
Jen and Billy.
Yes, good man. Yeah,
Can't remember their second names off the top of my head, but
they were two young ultra runners.
Young at the
and
time,
then
yeah.
there was one guy. Was his name Chris? No, it's not coming to me right now. But there was
a few characters throughout the book.
There were 7 of them that ran the race. Where was it going with that? Why did we get on the topic? We're talking about Tarahumara.
Yeah.
We're talking about the race. We're talking about them. Oh, Caballo Blanco was kind of the link. So Caballo Blanco was the man that he ends up coming across that links Christopher McDougall to the Tarahumara.
Yeah.
And then the book goes into great detail about them, which is perfecto.
Yeah. So that was back in the 2000s.
Yeah, we're getting a bit sidetracked, aren't we?
A little bit.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Small bit. We'll keep that there for a sec, bro. I want to get on to the point about why you love running. What is it for you that you love about running?
There's something about running when you're just out there working hard, and you kind of, when you're not thinking about fueling or energy or the hill ahead of you, or you're just feeling good, out there in your own head, and you're just running.
Is there certain elements, that happen? Like, is there a certain time that you start to feel good about running? Like, do you even notice when it comes upon you that, like, oh fuck, like I'm enjoying this run now? It
seems to just come upon you.
Okay.
Like, there's always that kind of, you usually structure a run. So if you're going out for a long run or whatever, you might do your 3K warm up and then kind of break into a certain pace or a tempo, whatever it is. So, it's kind of just in that middle ground of when halfway through your run, you're just kind of, you're not thinking about too much and you're just trying to kind of get in that flow state.
You get into a more blissful state. Yeah.
Like the runner's high. And then you hit the runner's high and it's
electrifying, man.
It is.
The endorphina literally goes up your spine. Like, I feel it more because lately we've been doing a lot of group runs, which are great fun, man. I love kind of conversing, talking, because you get all these mad insights. Like you're like in a heightened state and you're conversing. And you're kind of, it's a nice pace as well. I don't get the endorphins so much with doing the group runs, but I'm by myself and I feel like kind of pushing it a bit more. The highs you get, bro. like I've got like, incredible. And especially with music, I think music's a big factor as well.
Yeah.
When you're listening to music, you get this tingling sensation up your spine, and like it's electrifying.
Yeah,
it genuinely is electrifying.
That's the only way I can describe it. It's like when you listen to when you have headphones on, and you're just listening to a really good tune,
and you're in the run,
and you just feel that rush up the back of your neck.
Oh my god,
that's what it is.
And it can last up to a minute, 2 minutes, however long. But it's a great feeling. Although saying that, to get there, you've got to put in the work.
Yeah.
So it doesn't come easy. You've got to kind of push past it. For me, it's normally 3 or 4K or even maybe further along. But when it hits, bro, you're like, Jesus, it's such a
rush.
A rush. But it gives you so much energy as well. Which is amazing. Like, I have fond memories of running, bro. I love running. I think like you said before, born to run.
Yeah.
Born to run. But
you're always a great runner.
First introduction to running was when I was 16. Playing Gaelic football, down at Ballinstone, our local Gaelic club. Shout out to St. Pat's.
Yep.
True and true. And we had a coach at the time. He was he was in the army for a period of time. He came on board and he just made us run, bro. He turned us into a great team.
That team.
Transformed,
yeah.
Bro. He transformed me as a young man as well. I feel I grew so much during his coaching. But
that was only 1 year, was it?
I think he was with us for maybe 2 or 3 years.
He, yeah?
Maybe definitely 2 years.
Right.
But I remember that first year. I was like, Jesus, I became so competitive. I just found like another side to myself that I never knew was there. And I think that's the great thing about having like a mentor that's older than you, that's guiding you along a path, and that's just pushing you hard. Because as young men, we need that.
Absolutely, you need that.
And look, we're still young now anyway, but like when you're 16, obviously you're much younger. You need guidance from an older man and push you forward. And there's nothing like physical exertion and physical exercise to drive you forward.
And it's a great way to receive that kind of influence. Do you know what I mean? It's very hard to get that from school or from
you don't
other authorities. Like,
you got to put in the work, bro.
Yeah,
you got to put.
A great way to get that.
And whatever it was, man, I just adapted to it straight away, and I was like, I fucking love running, and I can just keep going here. And I had a good tank in me. Like, I wasn't actually fast.
Yeah.
But I could run all day.
I
didn't mind running. So that was where my love came from. And I don't know, like this whole buzz about running now, I love it, bro. I just think it's such a positive movement.
Absolutely,
I love when positive things are happening. People are becoming more health conscious, and it's everywhere, bro.
It is.
Like, you're driving along the road, everyone's running.
Yeah. And this thing of run clubs is just taken off the last.
Yeah.
I'm like, run clubs are always around, I suppose, but it seems like the last few years now.
Even from a younger standpoint, I feel like people are like, I used to feel like there was a run club where we are locally, but it was kind of old. It was generated maybe older people.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
But the demographic now for running is a lot of younger people.
It's definitely come into the scene of running now. Like, yeah,
it definitely is. It definitely is. We'll move on a small bit, bro. We are covering a good bit.
Yeah,
we are covering a good bit. For you, in the book, bro, anything else that stands out that we haven't covered just yet? Putting you on spot.
I think going back to the running shoes actually.
Mm.
Like that's a kind of big thing that I've been
Thinking more and more.
Yeah.
What shoes are you wearing at the moment? What's your main pair of running shoes?
My main pair of running shoes at the minute would be Nike Invincibles, which are like a max cushion shoe.
Okay.
So that's built to keep your feet safe and stable and to
And are you
get you through long
suffering
miles.
from any injuries at the moment?
No, to be honest now, no. It's kind of... I feel like any sort of niggles come from overexertion. So if I am not warmed up, if I'm not recovered properly, if I'm overexerting myself on a certain run,
even warming up.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. I think anything from your heart to your feet need to be warmed up, and you know, kind of.
Because the Tarahumara didn't warm up.
Well,
and they're the greatest runners of all time, bro.
That is true.
Yeah.
In fairness, now, but it's that thing of if you're not, if you
see, they're so loose the whole time. Actually, they're always running.
Yeah. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah,
and you can lose it when you're sitting down all day behind a desk and you're eating shite maybe for the day, and you do lose it.
Oh, you do definitely. Yeah. And another point just on the ultra runners, the Tarahumara, is the diet.
Yeah,
which I found quite interesting, and it talks in the book how kind of a vegan diet seems to be the best in regards to endurance sports such as running.
Yeah,
like
if you look at it, any high level runners, they're not hybrid athletes, they're not gym goers, they're not now they do, I'm sure they do some gym work, but skinny guys, tall guys, long levers, and very little muscle mass because you don't need it.
Yeah,
what you need is the endurance. You need simple carbohydrates, you need glycogen in the muscles to get you there, and that's it. You don't need big muscles, you don't need protein, you don't need anything of that.
Yeah. So have you felt, during your running, what you're doing at the moment, that your body has changed?
Only because I have kind of put gym work on
hold.
Yeah. Not on hold either. I should be doing more than I am, but it's kind of when you're out there doing 3 hours on a Sunday, it's hard to get a gym session in after. And people do double sessions a day, and that's kind of the next step up from doing your odd marathon or two. Like,
is that where you'd like to get to?
I think it'd be a big step up.
Yeah,
I would like to give it a go, but then again, how many people can get 2 sessions a day in?
Yeah, that's the thing.
A good run and a good gym session in every single day, or 2 runs. Like, there's a lot of people that do 10 plus runs a week, which is a lot.
That's a lot, man.
A lot.
10 plus runs
plus gym work. So
it's fascinating.
And the elite fellas are out every day.
Yeah.
Like, you go to E10, is it, in Kenya? And
never been there.
Never been myself now, but I've seen plenty of stories and videos of it.
Yeah.
They go out at sunrise, run 30k, come home, eat some food, have a nap, and then go back out in the evening for another.
Are they just runners, though?
Yeah.
That's what they
just
do.
Runners, yeah. All the top guys, like, they'd be out there twice a day doing big runs. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
That is something else, man. And these, I suppose running, like I said, has picked up over the last while. We had like a few guys that just popped off. Like there was guy William Gruge. Did you see him last year? He ran across America.
Yeah, rings a bell.
And you had like the hardest geezer.
Oh yeah,
ran across Africa.
It's an amazing. It just shows that endurance, like that you can just get up every day. It's like you're cycling to Croatia. If you batter the body into doing it, if you just tell your body you're getting up today.
Yeah.
And you have to run across Africa or run across America, your body will.
Yeah, but a bike's easy. Like I'm not taking away from what it was, but like running is way harder than cycling.
Definitely harder on the body, I suppose.
Oh, it definitely is. You're pounding in your joints the whole time.
Yeah,
like you're just constant. And there's more willpower, I think, associated with running as well.
Maybe, yeah.
And an interesting concept in the book, going back to the love of running, was it was picked up by a running coach when he was watching the Tarahumara run. I think it was the Leadville race somewhere in Colorado. This kind of 100-mile race. 100 miles, man.
It's amazing.
That's ridiculous. Anyway, and of course the Tarahumara won it. But he noticed how in the moment that they were smiling, that they were joyous of what they were doing. And in life, and especially with running, it's always the story that you tell yourself.
Yeah.
What can you tell yourself to improve your situation? And even in the depths of pain, like I can only imagine what it's like to do a marathon. I've only done a half marathon just so far. I'll do a marathon next year at some stage.
It'll come up.
It definitely will. But I hear people talk about like the pain and how that feels, and man, it's coming for you. It's October 27th, bro. That pain is coming for you. And in that moment when that pain is severe and it's 35k, and you're still trying to get your pace to where you want it to be to finish at a decent time, you're gonna have to tell yourself a certain story that you're enjoying this moment as hellish as it's gonna be, as difficult as it's gonna be, because that's what it's about, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to go through the pain. You got to go through the struggle.
Yes, yeah.
You grow as well.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love about kind of physical adventures and, you know, demanding more of your body. It grows character.
Yeah.
That mental edge, you know, you develop so much.
Mm.
You've got to persevere, though.
It's you against you, like.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's not meant to be easy as well.
This is it.
You're not going to grow in life if things are just so straightforward and so simplified. It's like there has to be, you have to reach another level. There's got to be some level of pain to get there.
Yeah.
You've got to ask and demand something more from yourself.
Mm.
Stoics said the best, man. Stoics said the best. I think it was either Big Epictetus or Big Seneca.
2 big guys.
2 big guys, bro. And
Probably 2 big runners.
probably, big runner. I think they were, bro. There was one Stoic that loved running. Don't know who he was. Anyway, great runner. But it is, where was the quote, bro? What was the quote I was going to go for? It'll come to me. Just give me 2
Sorry,
seconds.
put you off there.
You didn't. Not at all, bro. Not at all. Treat the body rigorously so it's not disobedient to the mind.
Yep, heard that
And like
before.
running's a great one in the sense that like you are in control of the vehicle and it's so difficult to do, but you just keep on pushing on.
Yeah.
Got to keep on pushing on, bro.
Yeah.
And it goes, and then if it seeps into other areas of your life, when you can handle that level of stress, you know, it might come up with your work, it might come up with whatever life throws your way.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, I'm resilient to this stress that I can, that's in front of me, and I can overcome it because I've showed myself before I can overcome challenges and I can just do the same again.
Yeah. That's it. Like they talk about the wall in the marathon. I think it's maybe 30 plus kilometers when you start to hit a wall and you just cannot move. Your body just shuts down. You can't move anymore. And your mind just has to come over it. Like, you just have to get over and get it done.
It's difficult.
Not looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is difficult.
And for you going forward, like, is running marathons going to be something you're going to keep on doing?
I hope so. Yeah. Like
You're looking into 2025 and like the golden ball in front of you. What are you hoping to do?
Hoping to kind of go travel with it, like, because Dublin is a great one to do, obviously, because it's home.
Take it international.
Yeah, take it international.
Yeah.
Why not?
Anywhere on the map.
There's a few around Europe.
Yeah.
There's Barcelona. There's
Barcelona.
Paris. Well, there's all the big ones, I suppose, and I don't know. I haven't even looked into how hard they are to get into.
Yeah.
And then there's ones like the Boston Marathon that you have to kind of qualify for and stuff. So
No way, qualify for it.
yeah. So we'll see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barcelona will be an interesting one.
But yeah, I think getting out there and visiting different places and doing different routes, and because it can get monotonous.
Yeah.
Like there's one thing about living in Donavate anyway. There's the peninsula, and that's it.
Yeah,
You're
you've got
running
nothing
around.
else. Yeah, you've got to freshen up the scenery.
Yeah, 100%.
Just it's new stimulus for the mind as well.
But it's a nice way to be able to go out and see new places, and you know, like a cycle or a walk.
I think that's a great shit, man. If you're in a new country, go for a run.
Best way to see a country,
Isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Beautiful way just to get
new city.
around.
Yeah, brand new city. You're there for 3 days. Get out the first day, go on a run. And
Yeah.
you can come back with all the recommendations and everything.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly. Is there anything we haven't mentioned in regards to the book so far? I have a few other things written down, but we've actually. Oh, there's a good quote, bro. Can I read you? Can I read you a bit of
Read
quote?
me,
You
bro.
know?
Do.
He's from chapter 15 or 16. It's a bit of a long quote. Might be here for a minute.
That's
too.
all right.
It's all good, right? Anyway, I'll go from it. Right. That was the real secret of the Tarahumara. They never forgot. They'd never forgotten what it felt like to love running. They remembered what running was. They remembered that running was mankind's first fine art, our original active inspired creation. Way before we were scattering pictures on caves or beating rhythms on hollow trees, we were perfecting the art of combining our breath and our mind and muscles into fluid self-propulsion over wild terrain. And when our ancestors finally did make their first carved paintings, what were their designs? A downward slash, lightning bolts through the bottom and middle and beyond, the running man. Distance running was revealed because it was indispensable. It was the way we survived and thrived and spread across the planet. You ran to eat and to avoid being eaten. You ran to find a mate and impress her. And with her, you ran off to start a new life together. You had to love running, or you wouldn't live to love anything else. And like everything else we love, everything we sentimentally call our passion and desires, it's really an encoded ancestral necessity. We were born to run. We were born because we run. We're all running people, as the Tarahumara have always known.
Great quote.
Thank you. And
Very well read.
To add to that, I wasn't very well read. To add to that, bro, you've been running through my mind all day.
You know how to sweeten me up.
Oh, I got you. We run to and we run away from things. Isn't that funny? Like, it is. Even that expression, when I say it now, I'm like, it's always running.
Yeah.
Like, running through my mind.
Actually, we were talking about the
You wouldn't be walking through my mind. You'd be running through my mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What more would you be doing?
Tell me about the fight or flight.
Fight or flight.
Yeah.
That's a primal thing. That's an ancestral thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And
what we do is
the ability to run away from prey is the only reason that we're here.
Or predator. Yeah, yeah. You're dead right, though. You're dead right, man. Yeah, and we run away from things.
Yeah. And also that theory of the hunting by running and endurance and being able to outrun things or in either direction.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very interesting when you think about how far it goes back and like in that quote.
It's built into our nervous system, man.
Yeah.
You know, that whole side of, running away from something and running to something. So, run away from pain and then running towards kind of pleasure.
Yeah.
It talks about it in the book as well. And that pleasurable side, I think, comes from the endorphins, and then the fearful, painful side comes from just running away from something that might kill you.
Yeah.
It's a survival instinct. That's what it is. Which is another very interesting point. There's one study, bro. I just want to look up a study, for the fact of this whole conversation. And I actually came across something got to do with activities and depression. And activities that we could do, in regards to moving our body, because I believe like when you move the body, it creates emotion, bro. And emotion is just energy that's moving through us. But I just think you always feel better after a run. You feel amazing. Anyway, up at the very top is dancing.
Yeah,
you should be dancing. Yeah. Might play a bit of pause here in a sec, bro. We'll just have a little intro. We'll play pause.
We should do.
We will actually. We will in a sec. We'll play pause in a sec. But just below that, so below dancing, do you ever dance?
Not often. I'm not much of a dancer now,
bro,
I'd say. But
if you find the right music, it's very hard not to dance. I fucking love dance, bro. In the kitchen, just kind of grooving, just kind of moving. Yeah. Just like, I should be dancing. Yeah. It's so good, bro. It's energy moving through our body. It's like a drug.
Yeah.
And I get everyone so happy, bro. Music, the sort of music, like, just music kind of without lyrics as well, I think is important because that can infiltrate your mind, bro. And there's certain frequencies that are not like even rap. Bro.
Yeah,
I don't know if rap is all that good for our brains, but anyway, just kind of house music and just kind of bopping, bop, bop, bop. Anyway, point being, dancing is number one in regards to reducing depression, but just below that is running.
Interesting.
Which that's the power of running. That like if you're feeling a certain way, man, and there's been days, bro, where I'm like, fucking, I don't feel great. But the worst thing I could do is just sit there and wallow in it and do nothing about it and not move my body. But I know if I go out for a run, I'll get that euphoric high off the endorphins, but I'll also get that sense of achievement of I've done something with myself, I've moved myself forward. And that word that came up in that quote there, propulsion, moving your body, like you're this massive energy. Yeah. That is, if it's stagnant, the energy gets weak, like lesser and lesser. But if you move it, it increases more and more. And you know what you're like after a good run, like you're on top of the world. You know what I mean? It's a great feeling that comes over you. So, point being is like, if you're not feeling in a great way, running or dancing, it's just the way to get it going.
Man, do you ever see that clip of Maradona when he's warming up and he's just like flicking the ball around? He's kind of doing a little dance. Yeah. That is what I try to do when I'm warming up for a run.
Oh yeah,
get that kind of playful moving
bro.
The body and just kind of loosening up.
Yeah,
he is so loose in that clip.
Yeah, I think
he's so comfortable. Well. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
but that helps as well.
Yeah, he's so free flowing.
Yeah,
he's so free flowing.
That always sticks in my head. That clip of him just moving,
bopping around.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's infectious, bro. Because you can see someone's very loose. Like their energy is you gotta move your body.
Yeah,
gotta move your body, man.
But it's amazing how much. If you go for a run, the next time you're going for a run, do that. Do a bit of skipping, do a bit of dancing, move your body, loosen it up, and do a bit of plyometrics, whatever it is, and you will feel how much quicker you get into the rhythm, how much you can improve your run just by doing that. Even the endorphins are doing that, like you were saying. It's.
Do you think much about your running technique?
A little bit, yeah.
You've been known for being a bit of a, what's the word?
Little speed walker.
Speed walker.
Yeah, I've got that short cadence.
Speed walk with the arms, man. You've got a very funny run.
I've got short legs.
Yeah.
Low waist, short legs.
Is that an advantage in any way?
Not for running, I don't think.
You don't think so? No.
Well, I think it's beneficial to shorten your cadence for speed, maybe.
Yeah.
But that could also be flipped on its head, I believe, because if you look at like elite runners and a lot of Kenyans and Ethiopians, people like that, their stride is huge. And like they'll kick down just in front of their kind of hips, but then when they kick back, their heels are hitting their arses. Like if you look at a runner side on,
Yeah.
it's amazing how they're like dynamic.
Is that the optimal way to run?
Probably, yeah. I'd say they've got it pretty down.
Okay. They got
And
locked in.
yeah, but my small little legs aren't built for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever think of your foot placement when you run?
I try not to, only because I kind of presume that if I'm not getting any niggles, I'm not getting any injuries, I'm not feeling it anywhere, that
Yeah.
I've kind of found that sweet spot.
Okay.
So I try not to think about it too much.
Mm.
But there's definitely something to be said about cadence, gait, foot, what do you call it? Where you land on your foot, whether you're
pronation.
heel. Yeah. So
To be pronated, yeah.
Do you know what you are? Do you a heel striker or a midfielder?
I don't know, Ron.
Mm.
The one thing I'm very conscious about when I'm running is the use of my arms.
Yeah.
I think your arms,
momentum and- yeah,
just
your
kind of
whole body.
moving yourself forward, like the use, your arms are there and your body all works as one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just feel like a great way to just help yourself even run further or run longer is just use your arms.
That's
I
it.
know it
Shoulders back,
takes a
keep your
bit
chest out
takes a bit of energy, but it's like it feels
definitely
good.
allows you, because it's almost the opposite leg.
Yeah.
So then you'll notice, but like when you're,
Do you use your arms
strengthening.
much?
I definitely utilize them when I'm trying to increase speed or go hard or whatever. So you definitely feel like you need to pump the arms.
Yeah.
And it definitely helps. I feel like if you try not to do that, it'll hinder you rather than, it's definitely worth doing.
Yeah.
And worth pushing. So it's
Interesting, bro.
Mm.
Listen, before you mentioned that there's a lot of, should I say, great characters in this book, and one that comes up over and over again is Mr. Caballo Blanco.
Yes, we have one sitting across from us here.
I'll stop at you. AKA Mr. Micah True.
That's him.
Micah True. Fascinating character.
Absolutely.
And he, like I said, he's the link that got Christopher McDougall to the Tarahumara and then ended up setting up a race.
Yeah.
But he actually, like we mentioned before, he lived with them, I think, for like 10 or 15 years. How he came across them was in a race, a 100-mile race that was done in Colorado, known as the Leadville 100.
Leadville 100, yeah.
Leadville 100, come on. There's a few of them races. Blackwater was another one.
Yeah.
But he became fascinated with them. I think he was like a pace setter. Is that a pace setter for the Tarahumara towards the end of that race, right?
Yeah.
And he was fascinated because they were wearing like this long dress. They wore sandals. Was there a certain name they had in the sandals?
There probably was.
Yeah, it doesn't come to me either.
Yeah.
And he was fascinated because he was badly injured with running. He's like, what are these people doing that I'm not?
Yeah.
He ended up going and living with them. Yeah, a bit of a wild story. And lived with them up until, unfortunately, I only found out yesterday, but he passed away a long time ago. Only found out through a podcast.
2012, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. And he died in a way that he wanted. He was out running, just sitting by a lake in the end.
It
And
was his decision. He
yeah.
went out and gave up.
that was him.
Well, once I gave up.
Yeah, but he obviously set up that race. What was the question I was going to have, man? Was there anything to add about him? He was obviously this mystical character that came into reality that helped, bring them two worlds together.
So I think one thing they mentioned in the book was like the one thing about a group of people that are isolated, there's a reason they're isolated and they don't want to be contacted. And when Christopher McDougall and a couple of other people have gone looking for the Tarahumara, they stay in the hills, they stay in the shadows, they don't want to be contacted. A lot of people have taken advantage of them. It was in their heritage to stay away from colonials and all this like modern society. So the fact that El Caballo was like this ghost and he was almost a ghostly figure in their culture just shows like how he wasn't there chasing them. He wasn't, trying to infiltrate the cult or whatever. He was just out there running. And he was doing parallel to them, what they were doing, what was inside of them.
Yeah, of course.
And so, yeah, that's interesting.
And he inherited their values and they respect him for it. And they took him in.
They respected him, yeah, exactly.
Which is crazy because he's a big, tall white man. You know what I mean? He's very different to them, but he ended up curing all them pains that he had, all them injuries that he was suffering from.
Yeah.
Their way of living. Excuse me. Jesus. Sparkling water came up the wrong way. Their way of living and their way of training had such a major influence on him that he was able to go on and run all these crazy races and do well.
There's a great picture of him actually in hiking boots. He's wearing big woolly socks and hiking boots, but the toe caps are cut out of them.
Oh, yeah?
So, like, he obviously was going through a rough patch of terrain, but he had the hiking boots on with the toes cut out for pretty much sandals.
Trying to create sandals.
Yeah.
How would they do that running such like little soles?
I don't know. Well, it's
and running up terrain as well.
Yeah,
it must just be an adaptation thing that their joints are like, you know, just a constant like elevation and, you know, going back down then as well. Elevation and what's the other one? De-elevation? Is it de-elevation?
Elevation and descent, or I don't know.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Fucking pop quiz here. But like your joints just adapt to it all the time.
Yeah, that's it. Like
just constantly running as well.
That's what they say is one of the, like he talks about the injuries and stuff in the book, Christopher.
Yeah.
And one of the big things that Big Chris, one of the big things that have messed up humans and their feet and is the cushion.
Yeah.
Cushioned running shoes, like. And is it plantar fascia? Is that what it's called? The main
fasciitis.
Fasciitis, yeah. That a lot of people suffer from, and it's just mainly because their arches have fallen and stuff because of we're wearing shoes. Our feet aren't accustomed to terrain and that sort of stuff. So
yeah, your feet has got all these sensors on it. It's got a natural arch, and that's been taken away when you wear these shoes.
Yeah,
they're so natural.
Yeah,
so natural.
And I saw something actually about, speaking of the arch in your foot, that wearing cushioned shoes, maybe this is a reason for plantar fasciitis or whatever it is, so that the cushion is kind of pushing up. Like that arch is strongest when there's pressure on top of it, like an arch would be in nature. So then when you have your cushion coming up under it, it's almost like compromising the strength of the arch by pushing up under it and not allowing that pressure on top to kind of keep the.
That's a great point. I remember reading that.
Yeah, so it's interesting.
That's a good point, because if you think of a bridge that's too well supported,
if you push up from the bottom, it won't take much
force
to break it.
It gets weaker. And that's the same for your foot, man. It is fascinating. I think we've summarized the book pretty well, bro. Anything else to add to it, or?
I think it's just a great book. There's a good story in there, and it kind of breaks up then in the end between the story of Caballo and the Tarahumara. But then there's also a lot of good just facts and
loads of side quests on it as well, and different stories about different runners. It is it's a fascinating book.
Very good.
And what do I mention it, bro, because we've been running together the last while. How do you find running with people? Obviously we've been doing the hard yards run club. How have you found running with people? Do you feel there's a big difference between running solo and then running a group?
Excuse me, I was always big on running solo, actually.
Get emotional.
I just love the lads. No, but I was actually big on running solo. Like if anyone ever asked me, do you want to go for a run or something, I'd kind of be in my own head and I'd be like, oh no, like I don't want to be going too slow or trying to keep up with someone or you know, trying to run on someone else's pace. But when you just go out with a group of lads or whoever, and you're just out there just to enjoy each other's company, have a chat, have a laugh, and just, you know, get out and run.
And what I love about it, like even when you're going at that pace, it's pace that you can run and still talk. Which is great. It's such a nice way of just conversing with someone. It's just you're in a heightened state and you're just moving along.
And like as tough as running can be, it's not incredibly technical. You don't need to be talented to do well at running. So it's good for a group setting that you can kind of have people that, you know, it could just, if you're with a group that's not as advanced as you, use it as your easy run and just go out and enjoy the run. If you need a push, that's a great push to be chasing people and keeping up with the pack, and you know, it's good.
Yeah, it definitely is. More to come as well, bro. Listen, best of luck come October, bro.
Thanks very much, appreciate it. And listen, we'll get you out there for.
We will at some stage, and we've got also a half marathon planned for, is it Malaga? Bellamadina.
It is,
Bellamadina, in November. So
that'll be fun.
That'll be an exciting one. Hopefully a bit of sunshine.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll have to beat our times as well, bro.
Maybe a PB, Ooh. Sweet little PB.
What would it be for you?
Coming off the marathon, we'll have to see how we're going. Look, let's go for 1:30. Why not?
1:30, yeah.
Well, you can hold me to that.
I'll go 1:29. Got you again,
oh
bro.
My God.
Got you again.
I meant 1:28.
Bro, pleasure. Thanks so much for coming on. And
thank you.
Pleasure as always, bro.
Pleasure as always.
We'll catch you in the next one. All the best.